Wait a second. What the hell? And three. And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. And Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys.
What's up, man? What's up, everyone? Bear with me. I can't see the chat room yet.
How's it
I'm
going?
working on that issue.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what we got here?
What
Fly by
happened?
guys. Hey Seth, what's going on? We got Drone Life C Welsh Rob Classic. What's up? And JSK, and who we got at the top of the list here? Lost Girls Hikes. Angie, how you doing?
I'll be in the chat in a second. I have to load my tablet. Those of you who don't know, my Chrome is crashing on my computer. I'm having technical issues. So until I resolve the technical issue, I can't see the chat.
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are having some technical issues here. I have internet issues, and Lawrence has some problems with his machine. So we're going to be live as long as we can.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're going to be live as long as we can.
I'm going to turn down this brightness to keep from blinding myself. And
so, Lawrence, you know what finally came in?
What's that?
I don't want to show it to you upside down, and then I'll look stupid.
Oh, all right. Tab 7.
Yeah.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Finally got here.
So you're going to use that with your
Yeah, I'll probably use it.
AIRT 2S.
I probably use it with everything now, but
that's true.
And then I'm probably going to pick up that smart controller.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bill, what's good, man?
You were thinking about getting a smart controller?
Yeah, I was thinking about getting a smart controller. I don't know how long they're going to keep it going, but apparently it's working with all of the drones now. That's out. So pretty much. I mean,
I can't get a break. I've been stuck on this screen. You see that on this screen? It's I'm usually the technical person. Okay. Yeah. And everything technical has been effing up for me for like the last week or so, starting from Sunday. All right, there's Herman Live. So if I click on that, you came up and recommended at least. At least I can hit here. And
somebody knows me, huh?
And look at the live stream right there and keep up with the chat. I doubt if I'll be doing a whole lot of talking because I'm just not into typing on my tablet. Oh, wait, I got to mute it. I'm getting an echo here. What the hell? All right. Why can't I?
I'm good there, Welsh Rob. How are you?
I can't mute the stream on my tablet.
Let's turn the volume down.
Yeah. I'm an idiot today.
You know the down arrow key? That will take you. The down arrow key will take you exactly where you're looking to go.
Okay, now I can see the chat. I can see Welsh Rob, JSK, Stefan, Flyby Guys. So I probably won't be chatting a whole lot in the chat. What's up, Eddie Nunez?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can speak.
So here's the latest news.
What's the happen?
The chat. I
went to listening. What's good, Eddie?
Interference Park yesterday.
Uh-huh.
AKA known as Flushing Meadows Corona Park.
Right.
And I was flying with Courtney Darlington and Drone X Factor and I had a good time. I didn't know those guys were there every day that it's nice.
Okay.
So if the weather's nice or if it's not raining or snowing, those guys they are flying every day. And for once, I finally got a chance to fly from one end of the park to the other. I took my 2S. And you want to know what? I stopped at the Globe, but I could have went to the stadium. I could have went to Citi Field from there.
Really?
That's how clear the reception was. On that 2S. That 3.0 OcuSync.
So why didn't you?
It hasn't even blinked.
Why didn't you? There was no game going on.
What's happening?
So why didn't you? There was no game going on.
I thought about it, but I'm like, you know what? You're really reaching. And you know the geo zone that you hit when
Uh,
you get to the globe before you cross the highway? Well, I got a warning on screen that said you're about to enter a geo zone and you may or may not be crossing the flight path of aircraft. Now, I
mm,
happen to know for a fact when planes are taking off towards the airstrip
mhm.
that would have been crossing the flight path. Because you know how they take off and they hook over across us over
Right,
the
right.
airfield.
Hey,
Well,
Stevie.
they weren't. Hey,
Hey,
what's up, Stevie?
hey,
Well,
what's
they
up?
the planes weren't taking off in that direction, but what bring it back, man. But the geofence, it gave me a warning saying you're about to cross over into the possible flight path of a plane.
Mhm.
And but I knew the planes weren't taking off in that direction because you can see it on the map. So
Okay.
I proceeded across, and I didn't cross the highway. You know, the little path that crosses the highway. I hovered over the path, and I took the path over the highway. I did everything legal,
Fly the
and
lake.
I could have, yeah, by the lake, right? I could
Just
have
fly the
went,
lake.
huh?
Just fly the lake.
Yeah, yeah, I could, but I wanted to get pictures of the globe and stuff. But I also found out that the
Yeah, the lake
DJI
goes
Air
right there.
2, the 2S, their cache file, you know how the Phantom 4 Pro and the
Yeah.
Map Pro series that it's only a 720p. Well,
Mhm.
the cache files of the 2S are in 1080 by 1920. And
Mhm.
what I mean by that is because I'm flying with my phone, I had to I it saved the cache files to my phone. So this is everything that I had from yesterday, right?
Mhm.
And you can see how clear it is there, right? So if I click this one and play this video, if you look at it, I'm trying to get the angle right. You see how clear that is?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's cache video.
that's cool.
That's cash. So now, when you're flying your bird, or there's an obstruction, or your bird goes down, you will definitely see it a lot cleaner. I thought that was cool. I was like, wait a minute, this is cash video. I even hit up Billy Kyle this morning. I'm like, yo, Bill, if anyone knew the answer, Billy Kyle did. I hit him up this morning via text. Yo, Billy, what is the cache resolution of the 2S? And he's like, you know what? I really don't know. So he was like, well, I'm going to have to do some research, look over my footage. And I took this file, and you look at the details on it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
1920 by 1080.
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Very good.
that
So,
is.
so
But
now you don't even need to know how to edit video no more. You could just put out cash
you
video.
could just use the cache video, right? And just
Just put
Yeah,
out cash video.
that's all they're gonna see if you're using it on Instagram or Facebook anyway.
mm-hmm.
Well,
So,
honestly, that
right.
when you do those editing programs like on the phones and stuff like that, without having a card reader, that's all you're doing anyway is cash video.
Yep, yep.
So how's everyone in the chat? What's up with you, Stevie? See, I'm looking at the tablet and I'm moving the mouse and wondering why I can't put the mouse over. I'm just having technical catastrophes here. I have to see the chat like this because my computer's sick right now, and it's
Oh, okay.
allowing me to do Zoom and that's it. I can't even open a browser. So
Hey
until I
Eddie, what's up, Ed?
That's
fix the issue,
that's messed up.
Herman, it
Yeah.
came today.
Okay.
The
Well, good.
SSD drive. So yeah, I'm waiting for my neighbor to hit me up
Hmm.
to see what's going on, and then I can cut off all other ties on the other end.
Okay.
Anyway, what's up, Stevie, man?
All's
How's it
good,
going
man.
then?
All's good. Waiting for the weather to break to get some practice in, but besides that, everything's good.
You don't have the raincoats for your drone?
I don't play that. You know that.
Hold on a sec, Welsh Rob, as of 4 p.m. today, eHang stock was $22.80
Uh-oh.
per share, which
Now you,
means if you can get in on it now while it's that cheap, and could get a few shares when they come out with their Sky Bus. If they come out with their Sky Bus, that you could make a little bit of money.
Hey,
the
hey,
sky bus?
Lawrence, you guys
Uh,
got for the FPV drones, those home built ones. You guys got like a spray on sealer to protect
Not
parts
spray
of
on,
the
it goes on
strap?
in a brush. It's called conformal coating.
There you go.
Yes, it put it on. You put it on all electronics. Hold on. I got a bird somewhere.
See, Herman, we got to work that into our DJI drones.
You see the electronics inside? All
Not
the
us,
electronics.
DJI does.
Stevie,
Yeah, I see it.
all the electronics. You put it on with a brush. It's highly. They say
Mhm.
you have to put it on outside, and
Got
even outside is strong. But to see
Right.
if you spots, you're showing ultraviolet light, and wherever it doesn't glow, that means you
Mhm.
missed a spot.
Oh shoot! See,
How you gonna put it on outside if the drone and
What are you
everything
putting it
working
on?
on is inside?
and you need a little hood for your GoPro,
You just need to be ventilated.
so you have those drippy shots.
Proper ventilation.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the motors, the area where the props go on the motors of the DJI FPV drone is the most sealed. You know how usually you have the little vents, especially like the Phantom, you
Right.
put the props on in that area, they have like little vents for the motor.
Hmm.
The FPV drone has the least openings. Like it's almost sealed. Like I think that's why that guy was throwing water. You ever saw that video? The guy was throwing water on his
water. Yeah, I
kept
saw
going.
that.
Maybe a Phantom would have just buzzed out, sparked, and hit the ground.
Hey, show. That's because they know that fool is going to take one and put water on it.
Yeah, he probably had that.
That would be the case with any drone because they've done that with the the Mavic too. They throw through fruit at it, all kind of shit.
Unless it's I found out unless it's a pure downpour, like monsoon rains,
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, hey Rodney Bell, how are you? 9 times out of 10, the propellers will never get water in them due to pure physics.
Okay.
Now, the fact that they, tequila
What?
shot.
Oh,
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Same to you too.
That was a double.
No, it wasn't. That was one shot.
That was one.
it looks tiny
Oh,
in
That was
Lawrence's
the shot
hand.
glass, right?
right?
It looks tiny in Lawrence's big hand.
It looked like a thimble in a giant's hand, right? But anyway, what? Now that I got my breath back, what I was talking about is the odds of water getting into your propellers, even
Good
FPV,
afternoon, Rodney.
is very, very slim due to physics. And the physics are you have a center core that's spinning in a circle, meaning gravity is going outwards. At the speeds and RPMs that those motors spin, water cannot go inside because it's always being thrown and the air is being thrown away. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right. No, I
They
understand.
have an amusement park ride that would explain that concept, Lawrence.
Right, called the
Been
hell hole.
around for,
Now,
it's
see,
been
right
around for
here,
years.
you see these holes, you see these, right? You
Yeah.
can see pretty good, right?
Yeah.
This thing is spinning at so many RPMs, being that the core here is spinning so fast, everything is being forced out and away
Hmm.
from the motor. You have more to worry about internals and other parts getting wet actually than you do the motors.
Exactly. See, one of my first videos on my channel, I flew a Phantom 4 in the rain. No, in the snow.
Hmm.
But it was like that heavy snow. The only thing I did was cover the vents on the arms
Right.
itself because that's not, it with the props spinning, like Lawrence said, you could protect the rotors, but I didn't know what kind of waves it would create around the drone and it would protect the arms as well. So I didn't want to take a chance. So I used that gaffing tape, the tape that doesn't leave a residue. And I just taped up the vents. And bro, I did a whole battery, no problem. Got all the different shots I would on a sunny day, landed it, never had a problem with that drone.
The snow was coming down.
It was coming down. It's my very, very first video on the Capture Life Connection channel. Very first. A real shoddy video. And I didn't talk back then, but you could see all the shots. I was flying over the train bridge and I was up there.
Yeah, I flew in the snow a little bit. I don't really like it. While I was out,
but I was
fell off the tree on me. I wasn't too crazy about that.
I did it with my Mavic.
You want to catch those shots where the snow is on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
It was that heavy snow.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When it's on the trees, and then you run the risk of that shit falling on you.
But you want to know what? the best way to shoot in the snow, and this is for anyone, is if the snow is, you see what direction the snow is blowing in. If it's falling straight down, it's a little harder. But usually snow blows on an angle or some type. If your back is against the angle that it's coming or it's going to the side, if you're looking this way, you can catch the snow that way and nothing will get on the lens. And I did that one time. Someone had told me, I had saw it on YouTube videos, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go out and do it, but I'm not doing it with my Phantom 4 Pro. So
Right.
I took the Mavic Pro up. I was willing to sacrifice her, and believe it or not, I was able to get some incredible shots of the snow blowing past me. Because after it blows past you, it kind of swirls and
It
stuff
looks
like
cool,
that.
right? It gives a good effect.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
surprisingly, like I said, when I brought it down and landed, the props and motors were dry.
Yeah. Now, I'm not recommending this to the people in the chat. This is something I did years ago, probably
Go
about
Just
out
to
2
say
there,
years.
those
fly in the
guys told
snow.
me we could do it.
Go on ahead, fly in the snow.
Like, those guys said you could fly in the snow, and
They did.
Yeah, you gotta see all these pictures pop up on Facebook.
crap.
Burnt out drones, motors fried. We lost
They
Law.
did. Maybe.
See, that was DJI for
Yeah.
mentioning flying in the snow. I'm probably next for starting it off. You can see me fade into black.
I hope he can get back in. I hope it's not a major issue because
I know
you
he's
know,
been
this too.
juggling with the extra iPad. He's having problems seeing the chat and
Yeah, I
everything.
know. I know. I'm like I told him I was having problems with. I have problems with having so many windows and stuff open.
Right.
But we doing it and we're making it happen.
Yeah. I'll text him real quick and see what's going on because I know he's the one that shares the screen and stuff like that.
I actually have it here to
Okay.
do it. Yeah, he's out. He's got to come back in now. We'll be all right for a minute.
There you go.
You got him?
I'm sending him a text.
But yeah, I got that new tablet in. I'm thinking about getting that smart controller. He's texting me now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So have you taken the 2S out?
No, not really. I had it on my phone. I don't like using my phone. The first thing, as soon as I don't like using my phone. I had another phone here that I was going to use with it,
Right.
and the app works on it, but it's too much lag.
Oh,
It's
okay.
too much lag. It was lag with the Go 4 app.
Right.
It lagged with the Go 4 app. So with this app on it, the list says that it's compatible.
Okay.
I downloaded it, download to it, but it's lag.
Oh, that sucks. I have an
But-
extra iPhone XR.
So I got a new tablet just to,
Okay, so you just got the tablet.
yeah.
All right, perfect. Because the weather's supposed to get good.
Yeah, I just got a new tablet, so I'm gonna get out there. So I'll be back.
Yeah, you gotta let me know if you guys link up.
Mhm.
Bye.
Well, I'm trying to see what's good with Lawrence for probably Friday or something. And if I finish doing what I got some repairs I'm taking care of. That gets all taken care of, so I'll be out there maybe this weekend. But Lawrence was talking about Friday. I don't know. We'll see what's good if the weather's good.
Yeah, if you guys could do early morning, I don't know what your schedule.
Did see Thursday talking about breezy. I don't know what they mean by that, but
It seems like it's always breezy. I mean, every time I've gone out. Oh, there he goes.
I had to cheat. I cut off OBS.
yeah.
I shut down OBS. Hold on, I got to switch cameras too.
And let
Hey, Chris.
There we
and
go.
let Zoom control the camera.
Rodney Bell. You like those tacos, Rodney? I put
Ooh.
my lunch on Facebook.
Oh, you made tacos?
Yeah,
Cinco de Mayo.
how to do it. How to do it. I love tacos.
Man, I haven't been on. I've been all over the place.
Herman,
Yeah.
I've come to find out I cannot run OBS or my my deck
Hmm.
with these issues. So I shut off my deck and I shut off OBS, and I'm about to go to your channel and see if it'll let me onto
Do
your
Never
stream
knew a moment
because
could
right
feel
about
so
now,
I
right.
know one thing,
I heard
what,
that ad right there that you see.
Herman?
Yeah,
I've come to find out I cannot run
well,
OBS
got an echo
or
now.
my All right, sorry about the echo. All right,
Yeah,
I can get
mute
that.
it. You got to mute that.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, Hugh.
Sorry about that. I'm in the chat. Hey, what's up, Hugh? Rodney Bell, Recovery One
Hey,
Drones.
Hugh.
I will not be able to do a whole lot in the next couple of weeks or so. I need to have an operation done on my liquid cooled system. It all of this is fine and it looks all pretty with all the lights and stuff, but if you don't keep up with the hardware, you get issues like I have. To make a long story short, my I have three hard drives in this machine.
Go big or
One
go
was
home.
supposed to be for the operating system, one was supposed to be for data, and one was supposed to be for software. But when it was installed, the person who installed it put programs on the hard drive, and the hard drive that starts the computer is only 220 gig. So now I need to put Windows 10 on this 1 terabyte SSD. So I can leave this hard drive like this, use another hard drive for my software, and use a third hard drive for my data. And then this problem will go away. So please bear with me. If I don't have any videos to show you guys and stuff like that, and
He's
for
got everything.
huh? Huh? Yes, please. Yes. But I wanted you guys to know we appreciate you sticking with us through all the hard times and good times. All right. Hey, Herman, I should be able to open up a story now.
Now,
Hold
you
on.
know what's
Let's
funny,
see.
Lawrence?
Let's
When I
see.
was going through checking out what's going on out there in the world
Like
of
my stomach
drones,
all warm.
this guy's got his own producer,
All right, here we go,
communicates
Herman.
with his producer.
I'm
Yeah,
going to the stories. Say a prayer for me. I'm going to click
he's
on the
just
first
not
story.
opening up all these damn windows. But what I was trying to tell you guys was that when I was going through, and it's funny where I actually saw this one article was in Gadget, where Verizon Media has agreed to a deal to sell. Well, the Verizon agreed to a deal to sell Verizon Media for $5 billion to Apollo Global Management.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, why I thought that was crazy is that that includes in that deal in Gadget where the article was actually where the article was actually written. So they're selling them the whole thing, and I believe they're keeping a 10% stake in it.
Right. Because
So
the deal itself is a loss if you look at it.
yes,
Because they went crazy a couple of years back buying everything, right? They
buying
bought
Yahoo
AOL.
and
Yeah,
AOL, yeah.
4.4 billion, I believe, for AOL, and with the companies that were under that umbrella obviously came with it. And then they waited like 2 years, and then they bought Yahoo for another 4.4.
Yeah, it's
So they at $8.8 billion, and they just now selling for 5 billion.
yeah.
That's a huge loss. Not only that, during this whole time period, they were laying off people in that, what was it, oath or something like that, they named it. Like they created a separate entity under the same umbrella basically
Yeah.
of their company, um and that was the company that was going to handle all that media that they were purchasing, like
Mhm.
basically managing it and scaling it up. And I guess in the beginning it was scaling up, but then it just started tanking,
Right. And now
and
it's
they
going to
started,
be under Yahoo.
yeah. And they had to start laying off people,
Hold
laying off
on.
people.
They're getting ready to dissolve Yahoo in another country, another company. I heard it on Tech News this week that Yahoo and another company may be getting brought out by someone else.
Well,
I
that's
can't
what we're talking
remember.
about.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're talking about. Verizon is selling Verizon Media to Apollo Global Management for
Oh,
$5
that's
billion.
Verizon. No, it's Verizon that's doing it.
Right. But the thing is, thing is, it's including Engadget, the online news tech news media outlet. So all of that is going along with it for $5 billion. That's a loss.
Yeah, that's a huge loss. Honestly, if anybody that's in business, that owns a business or planning on developing a business, this is a great case study on what not to do.
But they're gonna save face because they keep 10%
I
stake in
agree.
the whole thing, so they're still gonna
I
make
agree.
money on it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to assess everything, and I figure after laying off all these people and they're seeing the direction they're going, it's better to sell now
Mm-hmm.
before it's too late. It's like a bad stock, you know. But it was just a bad deal, and I really don't know the in betweens, you know. But if you look
Yeah,
at the
neither do I.
numbers,
Just see the
yeah,
articles.
if you look at the numbers,
Yeah,
it's a horrible situation, and it's a terrible loss. I mean, I'm
yeah.
talking about $1 billion loss. This ain't a couple
It's
of million. You know, if you know business, a lot of businesses run on debt, right? If you
Mhm.
look at them and you study them, especially if you're getting involved in stock markets and stuff like that, you have to study these businesses, what their plans are, what they're doing, how much debt they have out there. And if you look at it, a lot of these companies have debt, but you don't see companies fall so hard like this, you know. Um, this is a multi-billion dollar loss and they're selling, and now somebody's going to inherit all these problems, and who knows
That's
what's going to happen.
exactly what it is. You guys click the like
well,
button.
you
Help
know,
me seven like.
well, shit. Talking about that,
And
Epic and Apple are in court right now over similar issues that was going on, like what was happening with when DJI was forcing the updates on the apps with stuff
Oh,
in the Play
out
Store.
outdating the old equipment.
Right.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
bypassing.
Well,
Well, they had to do that because Apple was in total control of what's going on in the app stores. So now they're in court and they're
yeah, and
beefing.
I'm glad they're doing that because it gets to the point that you got to sell your old iPad because you update it out of service. All of a sudden it starts lagging and the same apps you were using before they're not working. That's bad business. And if you start doing stuff like that, you turn off these companies, they go to you say like the Android brands and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's kind of like why I'm gonna buy this for $1,000 right now, and then 2 years from now, when they have 7 new releases in between that 2 years, you create updates that make this iPad not work properly. You know,
that's right.
Okay.
it's not fair. If you pull out an old iPhone 4S or something, it probably wouldn't even work the way it did when you first got it because of all
True.
the updates.
True.
It's bad business. It's bad
Thank you,
business.
Angie.
But
That's all
Steve,
it is.
it is bad business. But now you
Well,
know what they're doing with those iPhone 4s and iPhone
they
5s and
got caught with that.
to sell the third, practically giving them away to third world countries.
Oh,
They
really?
got caught with that, slowing
Yes,
down
yes.
the
All of
data
the
thing.
old tech that we're too bougie to freaking use,
Hmm.
us, United States, Japan, and other large countries like that, they take their old tech. What do you think they do with your last year's phone?
But
You think they take it home and rebuild it or strip it for parts? Hell no. When you give
no,
them your,
but they've made it to where is that
It's obsolete. That's what
it
Herman's saying. Like
they've
they
made it to a
updated
situation.
out of
No,
yeah.
no, no. I'm saying no. What was happening with them was that when you get certain games, in games, there's certain things that you can buy in games and you can increase certain things and
Right.
down. They were basically, I believe what was happening with them, they were saying is that Apple was making it very hard for their games to be able to do that. And with Apple being in total control of what's in that store, they were pushing things instead of you bypassing the store instead of you having to go through for you to be able to get these things in the games.
Got you. So they were
And
blocking the apps from
right. So Apple was
updating.
like, no, 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 we're not having that. Now they're in court. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. If I hear anything else, I'll read anything else on it, I'll let you know.
This is big money. This is big money because those apps make millions, millions on top of millions at $10 a pop.
So Big Matt.
Yo, Big Matt.
man. Well, I want to point out that
Yes, we'll listen.
to show you how you've heard of Murphy's Law and how
Mhm.
I always say Murphy's Law always gets a lot of great laughs at my expense. Well,
Mhm.
I haven't brought a new drone in some time. Stop. That's a lie. I haven't brought a new camera drone in some time.
Okay.
I need to clarify that. Okay. And the one time that I get a camera drone that I was on the borderline of, I got, and I'm happy I have it. And so far, every time I go to pull that damn drone out, it's raining or cloudy.
Yeah.
No, the first 2 days ago, I got up. I was on Facebook with Anthony Charles at 6:30 in the morning. I was like, "Yo, I'm getting ready to go out. The sun is shining. I'm happy." I went in the bathroom, took a shower, came outside, opened the front door. It was gloomy. So I'm like, I'm going to fly.
That's all
Yesterday,
right.
I went to Flushing Meadows and flew with Courtney Darlington and Drone X Factor, and they said the sun was supposed to peak out. Hey, what's up, Robert and Marcel? They said the sun was supposed to peak out, which it
Marcel,
did.
what's good, man?
Now, I was flying FPV. The sun was beaming. People were stripping shirts off, everything, because it was getting hot. As soon as I pulled out my freaking 2S, the sun was out. I put on an
Moved in.
ND16 filter. It got cloudy.
The clouds moved in on
I'm
you.
sorry.
It
Yeah.
got cloudy. So I'm convinced. And if you happy Cinco de Mayo, Matt, I'm convinced
You
if you want to learn how to fly on cloudy days, come hang with me. I'll bring my 2S and
you
See,
still got
I need to go to Far Rock because when I went
so
to
you
Far
still
Rock,
got
the
this
sun
schlep rock
came
with you,
out.
Lawrence?
what happened, Herman?
You don't tell me you got schlep rock with you.
Yeah, bad luck schlep rock and shit. My computer's fucking up
Oh
on me.
man.
It's yo, and
No,
I'm tight about my computer, Herman, because this has been going on for a while.
we can't have that because you know what happens when bad luck schlep rock comes around.
Hey,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
You
hey,
know what I
Eddie,
mean?
I'm doing full acro
There's
at
buildings
200
in
feet. At
yes, yes,
200
there's
feet
buildings
anymore.
in Grand Army Plaza. Then you got, you know,
yeah. Hey, Eddie, FYI, your boy Stevie there, he surprised me. He put his FPV bird up, and I'm thinking he's going down the beach. All of a sudden, I hear him screaming across the water, look, going into the sun at about 60 miles an hour. I'm like, wow, impressive.
Yeah, I have fun that day. I'm going back for sure. We're gonna work it out. I'll
You,
text you,
you
try to
have
figure it out.
to.
Yeah, well, remember when I was doing the flips above us,
Mhm.
and you like, you're right, because it's so damn loud. He's like, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm diving. He's like, you dive in the building? I was like, no, I'm just diving nothing. Like I'm just diving in the middle of nowhere. But
I did
yeah,
have fun that morning.
I put a power loop on Instagram, Eddie, so you can check it out. But that's the only thing you're gonna see for the next 6 months. I'm still in training.
still in
Well,
trick school.
I'm like that. What'd you say, Herman?
Still in trick school.
Yeah, I'm
I'm,
still in trick
I'm
school.
like that with the S2, believe it or not, because my Phantom 4 Pro is down because I need a controller. I've been using my Mavic Pro. You
Mhm.
guys know I've been recording that building project for 2.5 years, but they finally got the scaffolding down and
Mhm.
they're finishing off those buildings. The windows are in, they're lit, they're starting to sheetrock inside. So my job is just to record the build up of these two buildings
Okay.
from I have it from basement up to finished product, and now I have it with scaffolding going up. I have it with scaffolding going down, and now I need to go back and catch the whole site and everything with the scaffold down, and the buildings look nice and shiny, and then I can put my time lapse video together.
Mhm.
And the funny thing is, like I saw the guy at the site the last time I was there 3 weeks ago, and he's like, "Dude, do you still have everything?" And I was like, "Yeah, I told you, you offered me a price, and you're gonna get what you wanted for that price." And he's like, "You're really gonna make the building grow?" I said, "Look, if you know anything about time lapses, Google it." And I have specific angles that I went down the street at certain altitudes, and at specifically for 2.5 years I've been doing this shit, man. And I'm
Wow,
glad it'll finally be over with.
that's gonna be a cool project to see.
Okay.
But I can't do jack with my computer acting like a mule.
You'll get that straight.
Well, we get it
You
fixed.
got
Don't
too
worry
many
about it.
people around you, man, that know about this stuff.
Listen, listen. My neighbor, it's funny because I've been
Good.
having this issue. Herman knows for about 5 months. The issue is I do have a liquid cooled computer and 24 gigs RAM, and I'm running an i7 4.0 gigahertz pro. I have all this shit in here, but the initial boot drive is only 220 gig. And once I get that out, I'm good. I'm good.
Right, right.
That's why I have this 1 terabyte here that I want to put my software on one drive, my data on another drive, and I want the operating system independent. And if you're asking why I want the operating system independent, Windows could fucking update for the rest of my life. I wouldn't give a shit. I'll have the space now.
Right. That's a
And
man.
importantly, don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you very much, Rob C.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
we have
yeah.
26 people watching, but if I go to the chat here, participants, we have Show, Asgard, Big Matt, Capture Life, Carpenter Rick, Bill, Coast to Coast, Daryl Hickman. What's good? I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in. Matt
Oh,
Kundig,
where
how
is
are you,
that?
sir? Eddie
Oh,
Nunez,
Daryl Hickman. What's up,
Robert C, and of course Herman and I. And
Robert?
I like to point this out. We
Big
don't
man.
if you don't come into the chat and say hello, we don't we appreciate the fact that you're watching us and you're supporting us by being here. Plain and simple. You like I used to get
Well,
do
we
internet
appreciate
rooms
everyone that
stuff
stops
like
in,
that.
hangs out
You
with us.
know, some people just don't want to go into a chat.
Right.
They enjoy
Well,
watching
yeah,
it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's what I
Right.
said. We appreciate anyone that stops in just to hang out with us for a little while.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Time to fly. What's good, man?
We're like family, but you see how to hey, time to fly. You see
Hey,
how
Just that we don't have nothing to drink when you come in. I'm sorry,
lurking. There you go, Al. Whatever works, bro. As long as you're here.
listen, we don't care if you come late. We don't care if you don't come to the live stream. Well, we do, but if we have people that don't come to the live stream because of
That's what you're
certain
supposed to
time
explain
zones
it.
and they watch the live stream. Okay. Then we have people that come to the live stream and just listen. We appreciate all of you.
You know,
And
Marcel is working on a Disney flick.
Is he?
Oh
well,
yeah.
get out.
He's big timer, bro.
Okay. You know what I have to do? I might have to contract out a job to Marcel and
It's
make him
run. That's it.
one of those R2D2s.
he,
Hey
he,
Herman, you
I
heard
want a
what
life-size one. What
you see
happened?
what Show put in? He put this channel is a drone centric barbershop.
there you go.
Okay, thank you.
That works.
I mean, I think that there's other channels that might fit to that description a little bit better, but I mean, hey, whatever.
Nah,
I
that's
mean,
a good one.
I'm just not doing any legal work over in the corner.
Without the illegal work.
I'm
That's
not
the New
doing
York
any legal
barbershop.
work for
That's the
anybody.
New
I'm
York
not
barbershop.
showing you how to file any court papers and
He's talking,
documents in the
he's talking
court.
about a regular barbershop, not a New York barbershop, not an inner city barbershop.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And we're not going to talk about who's the best.
That probably went right over his head because he's like, "What? What illegal stuff? My barbershop is clean."
If you don't know about New York barbershops, they are quite different from most barbershops around the world.
You could get more than a cut. That's all he could say.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
There's a barbershop I used to go to when I was a little boy with my uncle and sit in the corner while him and his boys sat there and talked. Then there's the barbershop that my grandfather used to go to and come home pissy drunk every night. And then there's the barber shop you go in and get your hair cut, and you can get bootleg Nikes, and
Yeah. You can get some Tims, but the tree might fall off 2 weeks later.
Yes,
we don't have that kind of barbershop over here. But what we did have an issue was when, the barber over here, I go to him for a shave. And we grew up in the neighborhood together, and a lot of guys in the neighborhood, it is what it is. So they all hang out at the barbershop.
Right.
But before you remember the Brooklyn district attorney before he passed, and we got the new district attorney, he used to come there to get his hair cut. And they used to have to do a sweep of the barbershop before he would come in to get his hair cut.
Wow.
They couldn't have certain individuals in the barbershop while he was in there.
Talking about what's going on the block.
Right.
In there.
I can't have that talk in there.
You go in there. I heard they got FEMIs now, the drones in the barbershops in the Bronx.
What's that? What's that?
I heard they got the FEMI drone
Up in the Bronx.
in the Bronx, man.
I'm telling you, if it used to happen in New York, it still happens in the Bronx.
They hit Canal Street first, and then they move them to the barbershops.
That's what it is.
That is the one thing that I
central.
will say about New York. When people say, yo, I remember back in the day in New York. Slow down. If it used to happen in New York, go up to the Bronx. It still happens.
Yeah, it still happens. Yeah.
Before we get on to like the first story that we're doing tonight, do you guys remember when Canal Street was the sound system for car capital?
Oh yeah, Sherman.
Only about 2 or 3 guys was legit.
Yeah.
Everyone else was bootleg.
The guy closest to the tunnel on the right, headed towards the west side.
Yeah,
that was the safest bet.
Yep. There was a guy all the way at the end. He didn't have a whole bunch of speakers outside his store like everyone else did. He had all the stuff in the window, nice and neat and clean.
Him and his brother. I know the place.
Yep.
I remember one time I was in Canal Street and there was police that find all the bootleg stuff. They were raiding one of those places that they had the purses,
Broadway,
Gucci purses and the Louis Vuitton purses. But you know how they used to have them laid out outside, and they used to have a guy, like 2 guys in the street watching the people going by. So anyway, the police are like starting to grab stuff, and the lady's going crazy. So she starts grabbing the purses and throwing them in the crowd while the cops are taking them, and the crowd's going crazy trying to catch it. And they like it just created a riot basically. Now everybody's bum rushing the stands and grabbing their own stuff, and she's just throwing them in the air. And the cops are trying to contain the situation, but it was only like 5 cops. And you know how Canal Street gets crowded. It's like hundreds of people walking in one sidewalk. So that was hilarious. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in Canal Street.
I never really liked Canal Street because I always felt that if you went to Canal Street, he was getting ripped.
Yeah, but you know, Little Italy is right around the spot, you know, so everybody hung out in Little Italy. You know?
I get it. That's what made it so easy.
Yeah.
That's what made it so easy.
Sometimes you can't find parking in Little Italy. You got to park all the way by Canal Street.
Hold on. You see what Matt put? Matt knows the spot. The store on the corner of Canal Street Tunnel next to the A train station. I know that place. Yes. If you were an audiophile, that was one of, like Herman said, one of the 3 to 4 spots up there. Everybody else sold bootleg. You could spend $200 for a 500-watt subwoofer, 15-inch, or you could spend $100 for a 200-watt 15-inch woofer. And if you didn't know the price difference, you got beat. Plain and simple.
They would just spit out some name and then tell you like all the lights. Look.
You remember Martin?
Ain't nothing in that shit but lights and a couple of capacitors.
Herman, you remember that episode of Martin where he saw the Hachi Tachi 5000?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking
about. That's how Chinatown is.
They hit you with some name, you'd be like, oh, word.
Oh, man.
So, yo, it's got 8 million watts.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that, Chris. Chris crashed his drone.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Hey, Brant, we mentioned earlier, we appreciate everyone who comes in, everyone who watches our live streams afterwards. And what I mean by that is, and we got to get to this next.
Yo, you know what's so sad about this? So I told you about this thing here with this internet. How are you seeing these people in the chat before I do?
Yeah, I get that too.
So why? You need to refresh your page. Hit F5 on your browser. And you in the studio, Herman, you need to refresh that.
I am not refreshing anything. We will lose this stream, bro.
We all good night. 43 minutes.
Never mind.
Just
I am not touching anything. When I'm finished with it, I close it.
Hey Gary, what's up, man?
What's up, Gary? I'm not refresh. Man, might as well say good night to everyone now.
Oh, you see, Bill, and Bill just threw a snowball up in the air, and while we were looking at it, he threw one at one of us. He says, "Wait, is this the new New York drone hub?" Sorry,
Oh,
I had to.
oh no, 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 no.
Bill, be
See,
nice. You have to
see,
understand, Bill,
see where
that
that barbershop comment came in. Now, next thing you know, no, no.
That was
I
hilarious.
I just want to say, Bill,
Oh,
be nice because they talk about your channel and our channel like that too. And what I mean by that is there are just channels out there that want to entertain people, and then there are channels out there that are like Seinfeld.
okay. Well, I mean, like I
And
said before, when I said what I said the other day, we all started out as us hang out to come and chit chat and talk about this, that, and the other about drones, and it's still a place for to hang out. But we bring a little something else to it, as far as a couple of stories that stick out here and there in the drone world. I said this before. Every day, somebody gets up in the morning and they go to work, and there are
yep,
people who go to work in the unmanned world every day. So there's always something happening. You know,
yeah,
who
it is
knows?
true.
What do I know? There's people been working in drones, and flying drones in other countries. Working since 2016. That brings me right into what we were talking about before. Like,
Good
whether
segue, Herman.
Zipline's, future is autonomous. The company Zipline has been, flying automated drone, medical delivery drone missions in Africa since 2016.
Yep,
And, Zipline believes that full automated drone fleets are the future. They've made their case in a keynote presentation at an online exponential that runs through this Thursday, where Zipline actually has been rapidly becoming the world's largest uh, automated drone delivery company or system in the world. So
drone delivery, drone
don't don't
delivery
don't
system.
say that
Yeah,
there's nothing happening, because there's always something happening. They've been operating just in Africa alone. We mentioned, like Rwanda and some of the places, that where Zipline is operating.
and I
I just think that, huh?
no, go ahead and finish. I was just going to
We
ask. I
talked
want to read
about
something after you finish.
Zipline operating in like Rwanda, where they first started with different things and delivering blood samples and medical, this is medical delivery period of all kinds over in Africa, because of their the inability to get to places where it was hard to get to, where it's like maybe 2 to 3 modes of transportation.
Right.
you know
And
Yeah,
in places like that, if you
Mhm.
look at it, they're able to scale up the amount of drones they could bring in the air at one time. You know what I mean? And start creating schedules. And
Right.
basically they have the ability to scale up in a place that they have more control and less restrictions, and then they could wave the flag of helping, right?
Mark.
If
Right,
you
but if
trying to
you
get
know, they're
approval to do
also
anything.
working with Walmart.
Right. Right. Yeah, we did a story on that, right? Not too long ago, maybe a few
Yeah,
weeks back.
we did actually, but I wanted to read this quote because not many drone delivery companies and when we talk about we've done multiple stories. I can count on two hands the amount of stories we've done with
Mhm.
Zipline and drones for good and you always hear Zipline and they have something here they put. We've flown over 8 million miles around the world and we've never had a safety injury from a flight or serious damage from a flight.
Right.
Lawrence,
Okay.
they're dispatching a flight every 4 minutes.
See, and that's the scale up right there, right? Because in the beginning they obviously couldn't do that, but now they're at this point that they're just moving at that direction and making more flights and being more organized and building up the software to keep track of these flights. So they're in the lead in comparison to a lot of these other companies.
Check out this little video. I don't know if guys can see it, but you can keep talking, Steve. I'm just want to
Um,
know if guys can
my
see this
my
video.
screen just crashed. So I don't, oh, there we go.
Your
Yes, I
screen
can
just
see it. Make it, yeah, leave it like that because if well, I don't know what's
I'm
happening.
afraid to make it larger.
Oh, My bottom monitor says cable not yet.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Anyway, anyway, this is going to
There it
show
goes.
in Rwanda and places like Africa and around the world, it takes 1 hour to deliver medication in dry ice. And your video seems to have froze, Herman. Oh, there it is.
It's like a little laggish, but it's playing a little bit.
But the story that he's trying to show here, it goes to show it takes 3 hours to get to deliver blood or something like that. And with Zipline, the moral of the story is 3 hours cut down to 15 minutes. They don't even have to use refrigerated units to deliver their on medication.
No,
And
because that packing that they use is, they said it'll keep it long enough for that mission.
exactly. And the drop zone area, if you could imagine two mid-sized cars, it's guaranteed to hit that area, landing area, within two mid-sized cars every time.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that's incredible. And it is a drone. It's a fixed wing, but it is a drone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that we always mention is the risk factor. Now you're sending people.
You stop
this
sharing,
heat.
Herman?
Yes.
Yeah, you got
Video
people
was over.
driving around.
No, I'm
We
having
see
an
you.
issue here.
You don't see anything?
No.
What happened?
I have two screens here. I have
Mhm.
this one where I can see you dudes in Zoom. So I'm assuming I'm still live on Zoom. But the
Okay.
bottom screen had the chat room and everything. And I'm just going to turn the camera around if I can. And
Don't
this
do that,
screen
'cause
is
you'll lose
totally
the camera.
black.
Oh,
Ooh.
And that screen up there is showing us in the chat, but
well, you're good here on what I see.
yeah, we're
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 still
still
here.
online, but I'm wondering what the F happened. I won't be able to shut my machine down. I need to be able to bypass this. Right now, my top computer monitor,
Drone
never mind,
shots. What's good, man?
never mind. Just going with the live stream. I can't
You'll
see
be all
any
right, man.
chat tonight.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. Don't worry about it. If the worst come to worst, you could do it. Once the live stream ends, you could just hit the power button on the back of
Yeah,
the
dude,
power
hit the
plug.
power button. If this case wasn't so pretty, I'd put a 35-pound mallet I have in the back to it. But fortunately, I have enough money invested in it. I'd at least take out the graphics card and sell it to someone who's mining for Bitcoin.
And what are you going to use?
Huh?
What are you going to use? Don't even come over here.
What am I going to use?
You
Go
sell
back
your
to phone and
graphics card.
go back to phone and tablet. But
Oh.
I don't know why, but it shut down my bottom monitor.
Mm-mm.
That's scary. Dude, my hard drive and my
I got a
computer is
graphics card.
that
that's
close
good.
to
You can
crashing.
work.
And once it crashes, I won't have a computer.
Wow.
Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. You got
I'll
the
be
new
all right.
hard
We have
drive.
tequila tonight and tacos.
There you go. Makes everything better.
Okay.
Everybody's eating tacos over here, and then I'm sitting here waiting for my computer to self-destruct.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have to wait long, apparently. You almost there.
Dude, you don't understand. When it comes to computers, I used to repair them. Okay, this present day technology is way beyond what I used to do. I used to repair computers back in the Pentium technology days.
Mm-hmm.
Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, back during that time. Now you have these i7 cores and octa cores, and that I just want my shit to work. And I was
Now
told
you're
how to get it to
killing
work.
yourself. It's not
So
that
I'm
hard.
putting
You
a
watch a
request
couple.
out there. But let me put a request out there
Watch a couple of YouTube videos. You'd be right there. You'd be an
to
expert.
anyone out there that knows how, and don't send me YouTube videos because a lot of those YouTube videos are bullshit out there.
I'm telling you.
To anyone out there that knows how to put a Windows 10, and listen closely, a Windows 10 operating system onto an SSD. So when I plug it into my computer and cut on, it installs Windows and then searches for the drivers for my computer. I don't just need Windows 10 on here and it just say Windows 10. It's like eBay. You open up a box of PlayStation 4 and there's a rock in it.
Lawrence, Lawrence, almost everybody that builds a computer has Windows on a zip
I
drive.
know, on a zip
Plug,
drive.
they plug it into the computer and just follow the prompts.
All right, well, that's what I need badly. I can't believe my fucking monitor's out
And
though.
well, if you had space on your computer, you could actually make one and,
But what's funny is, you
and
know
do
what's
it
funny?
yourself.
You know what's funny, Stevie?
What's
I
that?
have 3 hard drives in here. One
Right.
of them is an SSD like that there that I need to put in for the operating system, and another one is a they're both. It's a one
See, Gary,
terabyte.
now you're trying to
And
piss him off.
I can't see the chat, luckily, else I'd curse you the fuck out. Hold on, where's my phone, man? I gotta pull my phone up.
Gary, hold tight.
You're ahead of me.
Yeah, you're trying to get the guy upset now. You're telling him that kind of
See, now you got me pulling up YouTube on my
He
phone.
said you should get a Mac.
Get a Mac.
Let's see.
Get a
I
Mac,
thought,
he
I
said.
thought she was my boy, Matt, but I see. All right.
And
It's a
now
Brooklyn Queens thing,
I
right?
don't know me. No, he's not. No. Gary Brand Arrows. He said you should get a Mac. Now you know a Mac over here is just a sandwich. You know, at McDonald's with special sauce and
Listen, all I know is, all right, I got the chat here now. I can
yo.
see
I
that
know
I'm
some
not
people
happy.
have
Um,
gone out and spent all that money on a Mac to sit there and catch dust, touch screen and everything.
hey, Ray Kelly.
Family members with that issue. They got that fever for the flavor or whatever comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just sitting there. Yo, I got it. What are you doing? It's sitting there. What do you think?
ISO on a flash drive is the easiest way.
Mm.
See, the problem is I need to be able to do this operation. My wife works between Mondays and Fridays. Mondays and Wednesdays she goes in, but
That's the day you do it.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday she works from home. So I need to be able to do it on the weekend, and the weekend can't get here fast enough.
Just do
Seriously,
it on the day that she's not there.
that's easier said than done. Because when she's not here, I'm running around the house sliding in my socks.
With the music blasted. That Tom Cruise.
Yes, man, with the sky blue T-shirt, the sky blue button-down shirt on in my drawers. Tidy white.
All right. Now you know it's ready. We ready for the next story.
Yeah. I don't even see how that kind of segues into a story about anything, except for maybe like I don't know.
Hey, Bob Casey.
No,
All right,
but
get to the next story.
no, but we mentioned this company. What is it here? These people, not a company. I don't want to say it's a company, but AIRT is building the world's largest drone air force of emergency response pilots and drones.
Right.
At an AUVSI exponential
And sometimes why?
virtual, virtual conference, the Airborne International Response Team and drone responders
Hey, Neil.
have announced an emergency response remote pilot and their equipment and public safety UAS programs will be listed together in a geo-reference database. Now, this is to establish for what do you call it? Disaster, managers to be able to establish teams for, what do you call it? Different search and rescue missions and things like that deal with, public service.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm sorry, Matt. Matt's poking the bear.
No, but this is what they're planning to do. Basically, I think this was great because they're putting together a database for where
I know, Matt.
disaster manager, for relief and different.
Well, think about it.
They have different pilots that they can call on, or different organizations that have pilots that they can call on whenever they need it, and they're all in the database. They can pull them up whenever they need them.
Well,
And
see,
that's
this
great.
is also international. They're
Right.
talking. They're actually developing it. It's the story says there. I do remember reading the story, even though I can't see it on a fucking screen. That they're building the largest air force of
Right. That's what I'm saying to you.
rescue
Of,
and recovery, and I think
of
that's great.
pilots and drones. Now,
Right.
if you remember, this is also, like I said, this is with
Hey, Ray, Barry.
AIRT and drone responders. Now, we mentioned with drone responders back on, I guess, what was that? Well, Wednesday night with those guys, 99, but drone responders was working with New Air here in New York
Mhm.
State and trying to get more drones into agency hands.
That's right.
And we also mentioned on 101 with AIRT or AIRT was working, and well, they got actually a federal grant, yeah, to to expand. Well, how else would you pronounce that? Art?
No, but it sounds like one of those, when you hollering down the
No,
block.
but it's
Here,
actually an
where you at?
abbreviation for
I'm
that.
going to the bus stop. Oh, it's a
No,
new.
I just told you is an airborne international response team.
Yeah, but this is great,
You know,
especially if you look at some of the
mm,
things that happened in the United States in the past, like New Orleans and the flooding.
mhm,
Um, you dispatch this air team, this
Mhm.
air unit. Um, if you remember some of the stories, and I went to New Orleans 2 years after the floods
right,
for All Star Weekend, and I seen some of these abandoned, whole towns abandoned.
right,
Like
Oh, town,
pharmacies and
huge.
houses,
Yeah.
watermarks up to the third floor window. Now,
Yeah.
if you remember some of the stories, because I'm sure everybody's watching these documentaries and everything about what happened, there was a lot of people that they didn't know where they were at. They were
right.
trapped in their attics.
There were thousands of
Starved.
people that just
So
disappeared,
yeah. So
washed out to sea. Wherever they went, they haven't found these people.
imagine if you have this unit in play at that
Mhm,
time that they
Mm.
could just sweep. They create, because I know when they do searches for missing people and stuff like that, they create this grid in the last area they were at and they work their way out.
right.
So now you have these drones and you can actually catch these people that are stuck on their rooftops for days. You
Mhm.
could find out within hours, just sending out all these drones. That's why when I saw this story, I thought it was great.
Right. Well, because
Where we going in the direction we're going with it, and how much the drones are just gonna make things life a lot better.
right. What it does, it makes it a lot easier for them to be able to assemble teams in different areas to be able to get this going. Yeah, I got the same
Right.
mug.
Right. Oh yeah.
I got the
That's a
same
big
mug,
boy.
Steve. No, but this program is the brainchild of this gentleman, Brandon Carr, who's an expert in public safety and drone applications. He's out of Pearland, Texas. And he's going to be working as a project manager with drone responders on this project to get it going. And I guess to be able to really test it, God forbid, they need a natural disaster or something where drones are necessary and many pilots to operate them is
Right.
necessary so they can dispatch different teams in different locations
Right.
and they'll be able to call people from in close areas than having to call a guy halfway across the country.
Right.
This makes good for works great for them because according to this they're saying that
Hey, Sunrise.
public safety agencies and emergency service organizations who are can enter and develop their own program with drone responders. So if you're interested, you have already a program in place, or if you're a pilot who who has the skills and is interested in getting with one of these, getting their name in there so they can call on you when the time comes, when it's necessary,
Right.
that you can get into that. But I'm gonna copy this link here
We could
for it.
only hope that they don't have to put
Hey,
this
what's up, drone shots?
anytime soon, but
Yeah,
at least they're preparing. And as long as we stay out of these natural disasters, they'll have more time to develop it. and get more funding and build it up and scale it.
What each natural disaster that gives them an excuse to go out there and see what they can do as well and to collect data. Because if you remember, there was a time in New York City, Stevie, where most of the time, if we had meetups, there was a police helicopter or a helicopter hovering nearby collecting data on all the drones. We had a meetup on Randall's Island when they were preparing for Lance. If you remember, Herman, we had a
Mhm.
meetup on Randall's Island. There were about 30 guys there, and Herman was downtown in on the East River, and a helicopter came and parked about it just hovered maybe about I'd say maybe about 6 blocks away from us at Randall's Island. And Herman was like, yo, there's a helicopter there. I'm like, yeah, the helicopter, it's probably collecting data.
Gathering
It just
information.
hovered. And after a while, they left.
I missed that meetup. I was on vacation. I was out of the I think
Mhm.
I was out of the country that day. But I remember seeing the pictures and videos. So many people showed up. And it's a great location because you got all
Ooh.
the bridges and everything. It's just so much to capture at that
Stevie,
location.
Stevie, it was so many people there that people had pulled up. And you know how Randall's Island has the separate parkings around the island?
Right,
Someone
right.
pulled up and said, I'm in a parking lot. I don't know how to get to where you guys are. I sent my phone to the parking lot, and someone was on the phone like, "Yo, you see the drone? Just follow the drone back."
You brought him in with the drone.
So,
Right, Herman? You remember?
so you know what I thought was funny about that? I was on my way back to the car at the parking lot. You remember where we were parked at all the way on the other
Uh
side?
huh.
And uh, I ran into Jameson, and he went to ask me something. He goes, "No, never mind." I was like, "What happened?" He goes, "No, I was gonna ask you where the guys was, but I can see Xavier."
So no, and what makes it funny is that was the first time we saw the Coast Guard flotation device that Xavier was wearing because it's Coast Guard orange, and from head to toe, it's one of those Arctic suits to keep you warm. And if you look, I don't care if you look in that area, all you see was that fluorescent orange in the area. And like Herman said, people knew where we were because they saw drones returning and stuff. I had a guy follow my drone from the parking lot. It was crazy, Stevie.
Yeah.
That did-
No, I saw the pictures and videos. Like everybody was posting their pictures and their videos. And I'm like, man, that looks like a big family reunion, like a barbecue or something. It was
but
so
it's
many.
the optimum spot. You have Manhattan on the right side.
Yeah.
Do it
You
no
have
more.
East River going straight down the middle. You have Astoria on the left. You
It's a
have the
great spot.
Triborough Bridge, which both any of you don't know. The Triborough Bridge is the only bridge in New York City metropolitan area that touches three boroughs. Okay, with its roadways.
Yeah,
And,
it is a
and
great location. And I was meaning to fly in that location before. And when you guys had to meet up, I'm like, great. I'm not even in New York. I can't even go. I was like,
I think you can
perfect.
still fly from Whitey Ford. I'm
yeah.
not sure, but I know that the island.
hmm Yeah, Randall's Island, you can know Randall/Ward's Island, you can no longer fly on unless you go to the city and apply for a permit. In which case, because Big
It
Matt
ain't
will tell you,
happening.
Big Matt and I walked over to this little guy that was
It
about
ain't happening.
5'6", 5'7". Matt is 6'4", 6'5". I'm six
Oh,
three.
Matt is six
You have the,
six.
oh, he's 6'6". You
That's
have these two guys, Stevie. This guy get out of his car from the New York City Parks Department, and for some reason, whenever we have meetups, and Herman, you know this, whenever they have meetups, Stevie,
Yeah.
when the police come, it would be Jose's meetup, it'd be so and so's meetup. They organize, but when the police came, they like, yo, Lawrence, the police. The fuck you calling me for? You know,
I can tell
but
you
I
why.
but basically, me and Matt walked over to the gentleman, Big Matt.
Carried them back to his car
He
and closed the
explained to
door.
us, technically, I'm supposed to take you guys drones, and me and Matt looked at each other like he's got to be kidding us, right? But he said technically we're supposed to
You're
take
gonna
your
take your
drone,
drone.
confiscate them, and issue you a ticket, and you're supposed to come down and pick up your drone, blah blah blah. And me and Matt and I commenced. We went on to ask him how do we go about flying here? And that's when we found out on Randall/Wards Island, you need to apply with the city to have a meetup, let them know how many people are going to be there, and they would give you a picnic area. You know, they have the picnic areas.
Uh-huh.
They'd give you a picnic area, and you'd have to rope it off, and that's how you can do it legally. But right now, as far as going there and pulling out your drone and flying, if they run up on you, they can take your shit.
As
Well,
soon as you tell them you gonna fly drones from over there, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, these fools gonna be buzzing their head."
You know, getting back to Xavier though, there was one time we were supposed to fly, and it was a legal spot. We checked on the before you fly and all the stuff, but still, sometimes when you fly in the boroughs, you
Mhm.
want to be low key because the people walking their dogs and everything, they start calling Parks Department right away and everything. So
Mhm.
it was just me and him. You know, we were talking to each other. We were like, yeah, let's go fly. And we're like, all right, let's go fly. So I'm thinking we'll be low key. You know, I don't wear a
Don't
lot
tell
of
me
bright
Karen
clothes like I
called you.
do
Called
today.
you.
Usually I'm wearing black shirts and stuff like that, blue jeans and stuff. So I'm thinking we're gonna be low key because we don't want to attract it's legal spot, but you know, the people don't know that, you know, especially in the boroughs. And he just popped up with this big orange suit. I jumped out the truck like I thought we were being low key. He just started laughing. Like he just started laughing. I was like, bro,
Yeah, I'm convinced.
I should have just put the freaking the strobe light, you know, the
Mhm.
3 mile nautical
Yeah,
mile light, and just stick it on my Yankee cap. Just
I'm
might as well with
convinced.
that orange suit, you know, like let everybody know we here.
You know what? I'm convinced that if you want to really fly in New York City without a problem, get some khakis and a button-up shirt and the vest, and you will be okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have some pictures when I used to fly the Phantom.
You didn't hear it from me though.
Yeah, when I had the Phantom 4 before all this Part 107 and all this stuff, they were still trying to figure stuff out. Like in between meetings, I used to just pop the drone out the truck and go fly wherever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But cops used to go by and they didn't say nothing. But I'm
No,
in
they don't.
slacks.
They don't say anything
You know
until
what I mean?
somebody calls them.
Yeah, I was in slacks, hard bottom shoes, you know, all dressed up. You know, they probably thought I was doing some work or something, but I was just in between, you know what I mean? In between whatever I was doing, meetings and stuff like that. And
I believe it because
yeah,
Herman, and Justin, Drone Evolution, we flew Co-op City. Now, you cannot fly from inside Co-op City because it's a residential area, but we wanted to get the development and, the water side. And
right,
it's one of the largest co-ops in the United States, cooperative living places, whatever you want to call it, condo areas
Cooperative
in the United
community.
States. And Herman, me, and Justin had vests on. Police went by, they didn't even look twice. Security from Co-op City, because they have their own police force there because it's so big. They came by, drove by, and nobody messed with us or bothered us at none whatsoever.
And if you got a
And it had a lot to do with the fact that we
clipboard and
had
a pen,
huh?
forget about it. If you got a clipboard and a pen, forget
a
about it.
pen,
Yep.
pen protector in your pocket.
All right, what's the next story,
And
Herman?
what the lady in Atlantic City say to me? She goes, "You work for the city. What can you
Oh,
do
yes,
about these
yes.
sidewalks?"
Oh, while
Stevie.
you were flying your drone?
No, we were flying the lighthouse.
Right.
The
Yeah,
Abyssine
that one.
Lighthouse, whatever it is,
Yeah,
over in
that
Atlantic
one.
City. Well, we're standing on a sidewalk, and she thought she swore like hell we worked for the city.
Right,
She's walking in the heels. The sidewalk was all busted. I thought you worked for the city because they need to fix these sidewalks.
right. Because you had the vest on and everything.
She said to me, she goes, "Excuse me, you work for the city. Is there anything you guys can do for the sidewalk?" I'm like, "I don't work in that division."
That ain't my division. I'm in the lighthouse division. Just
Yeah,
making sure there's no cracks in this lighthouse with salt
She
water.
goes, "You got that badge? What's that?"
yeah. He's like, you don't work for the
I don't
city.
work. I don't work in that capacity, lady. But she wanted the sidewalks fixed.
Well,
As vest,
but what's the next story,
badge,
man?
radio.
We ain't got that many stories to be
Or shit like home.
stories, but I just figured,
Hey,
unless you had something you wanted to mention.
Well,
Chris.
no. But I did want to point out something. I'm highly upset at the fact that they have designed the
Hey,
Air,
Jackson
the
RC, what's good,
Air
my brother?
2S,
Oh, how's it
the
going?
Air 2S, the Mavic Air 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, hey Jackson, hey Chris, I'm really upset that they've designed those drones so that you have to use your phone, because the list that of tablets that work with that
That's
Air
the
2S is
Android guy.
very slim and limited. And unless you're willing to spend anywhere from 300 to $1,000 for a tablet, you have to use your phone.
The new iPad, what's that, Pro?
And Stevie, our eyes on
Or
my eye, not even ours. I'm gonna say my
and the
eyes on
iPad,
yours.
On what?
the
So I
iPad
have to
Mini
use,
4, and the Air 2. They say that all of those are recommended on that list if you were
So
interested.
the iPad, I have an iPad
And
mini
then
and it works
like
fine.
the latest Android phones, like the newer.
right. My cell phone works fine.
Yeah,
But my problem is I can see, I can see, I can't read a restaurant menu.
right.
Okay, but I can spot a golf ball 150 yards away in the grass and tell you whether it's a feather or a golf ball.
Wow.
Okay, that's my
We'll test
problem.
that one
So
day.
when I'm forced to use my phone, now when I put my glasses on, this phone turns into a freaking tablet,
But
you know,
you know what
but
I noticed?
Yeah, that's fine with the glasses on.
With the Air 2 and the Air 2S, when I use my iPad, it
mhm.
I can't charge it from the controller. But
Okay.
if I put my phone and put that option, click the option to charge my phone, it'll charge my phone. It
This
won't
is
charge
what
my
I
iPad.
This is what I mean
Yeah.
by trying to design the drones so that you use your iPhone. I had a conversation with Xavier, drone X Factor yesterday, and he was curious to hear what I said. I said I believe that the Mavic Air 2 and the Air 2S are the next series of new style of drones. And what I meant by that, and I went on to explain to him that my theory is they want you to use your phone because today's kids that
Mhm.
are flying drones pull out their phone to do everything. So to pull out your phone and attach it to this remote is not a problem, but to pull out a tablet and have to plug in
Right. That's
it's a
why the smart controller works.
right, right, right.
Most
I
people today, the youth, they're not into tablets. Tablets became more of a work type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why if you
Exactly.
look at the more high-end
Exactly.
tablets, they're more of a workstation type of a,
Oh yeah.
it's almost like the next thing to a laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, they making them super powerful. But
This they put this tape on the box to keep me out, I guess.
What do you mean?
The
Oh,
tape
on
on the
the tablet.
box. I just
On the tablet, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I can honestly say I'm not happy with is the fact that I'm gonna have to purchase a tablet
Mhm.
we can fly with. I have the tablet holder and everything.
Hey,
And the
Lauren,
last
spend some of
2 days,
that Warbucks money you got.
I've been using my phone, and you want to know what? They don't make sunshades for phones.
Yes, they do.
yeah. Well,
I
I
have one.
the phone, I rather use the iPad, obviously, so I can see
Exactly. You can see the color, you can see the sharpness, you can see what's out of focus and what's not. You can see the color grading. Then you can adjust your shutter, which is very important with the 2S. I met an Asian guy in Flushing Meadow Corona Park, and Courtney Darlington and I got there first before Xavier. And the Asian guy was flying, and he's like, I said, "Oh, you have a 2S?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He says, "Well, mine, everything is so cloudy." And I was like, "Cloudy, what do you mean?" And then I saw the screen. I saw everything was overexposed because what he was doing was he was shooting in auto on a cloudy day.
Mhm.
So not only did he not have filters, but he didn't know if you switch from auto to pro, you
Mhm.
could adjust the shutter
right.
and bring out the clouds. And I showed him, and he was like, "You know what? I learned something from you today." I
Yeah.
said, "Don't shoot an auto on if you want to shoot an auto, and this is my personal advice. The views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat. But this is my personal advice. If you want to use the 2S in auto, do it at twilight and sunrise. Sunrise and sunset, and you might be able to get away with it. But any other time, I told him shoot in pro. And I said, here's the perfect example. Always point the camera, adjust the camera away with the sun at your back. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? I said, well, if the sun is behind you, you take your drone up, you go up about 10, 15 feet, and you adjust it that way. And this is only because he didn't have filters. I was telling him to do this. But by the time he burnt his last battery, he's like, wow, I can see the clouds. I was like, see? Now
Yeah.
imagine if you had a filter.
Yeah. You need the detail. Yeah.
Mhm.
But you
Yeah.
know, you know what's dangerous about flying with the iPad and you can't charge it? If you're using your phone all the time because you know it's just more convenient, you can't charge the iPad, and sometimes you get lost in the session. And I had friends that had to go run for their phone because the iPad just died. You know, they're about 2-3 batteries in, and the iPad just dies because they forget it won't charge the iPad. And you just, you know, you kind of like, you know, land and you put the battery to the side, you put the next battery in, you kind of in the motion, you know, you in your drone session, you getting your shots. And you got to check, you know, you have to check the battery power, and then you might have to switch. I got 4 batteries. Well, I have 7 batteries at this point.
Have to be conscious of your surroundings at all times.
You got to be checking in between the batteries to check your iPad, because the iPad, it won't charge from the thing, from the controller.
Right.
You know, the phone is a different situation. You could just boost it. You know, that controller is going to work. I've flown 4 batteries and my controller still had enough power to go, you know, and I keep the phone.
That's what makes that smart controller attractive.
Right. Well, see, the thing with the smart controller, honestly, me right now today, if you don't have it, I wouldn't buy it, because
give me a second. I got to pay the water bill.
I wouldn't buy it only because for a long time now, I've been hearing about people getting phone calls and they've been gathering information. So they obviously going to make a new one. Now, it's just like, how old is that smart controller? You know, a new one got to be around the corner.
Right, but then a new one means new drones.
Yeah, but it'll definitely work for the Air 2S. You'll be in there.
No, I got that, but I'm saying a new one means new drones.
Right.
So what are you going to move over from this other controller to this one that's not, you understand what I'm saying to you? That's not dead yet. Everything that's everybody is using right now is on that controller.
Right. But would you buy it today? A smart controller?
Watch this. Previously, what drones are out right now that everyone's using,
right?
I can see that being worth the investment,
right?
You know, but if you only had one drone on that list, no.
Where are they at right now with price? Let me put in shopping.
Because to get a tablet that'll run on that'll run that app, to be able to use for that app, you're going to be spending just about the same.
You have $750 right now. And you know, if they drop a new one, it's going to be around the same price.
Right.
I mean, I think that new
what's the iPad Pro? What's that iPad Pro going for right now?
Oh, that's out there, right?
No, but I'm saying that's a recommended tablet for that system.
Yeah. Well,
the Mini 4 is also on that list.
The iPad Pro 2021, $1,099 in B&H.
And as soon as it gets over 85 degrees outside, that thing's gonna fucking drop.
Done. It's done. Yeah, but then the thing about the iPad,
Pilot Shark,
is you got the process, right? With the smart controller, you up and running. That's what everybody loves. You just turn it on, you go. Now you're buying an iPad at pretty much $1,000 to $1,700, and you
can get something cheaper.
Yeah, you could. You know, I got an iPad Mini 4, I think it is.
Yeah, the 4 is on the list.
The 4, I have the 4.
The 4 is on the list.
I know a lot of people recommend the 5, but I have the 4 and I make it work, you know. I'm not one to upgrade unless I have to, you know.
But the 4 is on the list, though.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna
it
be
needs to
honest.
touch. I
I'm
made it
pissed.
in the
I have
door.
to buy a new freaking tablet
Yeah.
to work with this 2S. I'm pissed about it.
Right.
I really am. And you know what's messed up about it? All DJI has to do is fucking do a firmware update.
well, I showed you one that
But they're
was
not going to. You know
on
why?
the.
Because then the 20 million people that went out and brought new tablets will be pissed
I
that a
showed you
3-year-old
one
tablet works.
under what do you call it? Under $300.
What's up, drone worship?
Hey, John Worship. I showed you a tablet that was under $300.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on the list.
Which
So-
one? The one that you recommended to me? That Android tablet?
Who,
Remember
me?
you recommended? Yeah, you
No,
recommended.
no, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
I sent Lawrence a
Yeah, you
link for
did,
the
but I
the
can't see
iPad.
it because my computer's acting funky.
You had like a gaming. You had like a gaming type.
Now, here's what's so funny about that. That runs on Windows. Oh no, I keep saying Windows. Android 7. Now, when I had the 7 Edge, the
Mhm.
7 Galaxy
The
7 Edge,
tab A does not work, drone shots.
Tab A is trash. That's good for surfing the net.
The tab A 10-inch works, but the tab A 7-inch doesn't.
That
I have,
Tab A 10-inch don't work. It's good for surfing the net. It's the same thing.
I have a tab A
Tab
right
A
here.
is Tab A, whether it's
I use
7-inch,
my
8 or 12, 15-inch.
I use this one with my Phantom 4 Pro or my Mavic Pro because of the cell service. And then this tablet I update via Wi-Fi. But none of these tablets work. And right now I can make a fucking waffle sandwich with these bitches because none of them work with the fucking 2S.
That sucks.
And that's how I feel about it.
So what I was saying, Stevie, I had when I first started flying the P3, I was using that 7 Edge, and
Good to see you,
it was
Explicit.
laggy. So I went out and got the video Shield, and because I
Yeah,
saw
that's
you
the
guys
one
were
you recommended.
using it,
Yeah.
and it worked good with the P3. When I got the Phantom 4 Pro, it worked good with that. I got the V2, it worked good with that.
Gotcha.
But it does not work with this with the Fly app. Now, what makes that so
Oh.
funny to me? What makes that so funny is
Hey, Johnny.
the Edge that I have, the old Edge that I left because it was very laggy. For this, it works on that. Now, keep in mind, anything that you see already happened. That's how laggy. That's how laggy it is.
Oh, that's rough.
Because I was looking at the screen and I put the camera on me, and I would move my hand from the controller to my head, and by the time I came back, my hand was on my head on the screen.
Wow, that's rough.
And what it is, this new tech, and this is getting back to the point I was making about the Mavic Air 2 and this 2S, meaning it's a new chipset, meaning as drones evolve, and I think this Mavic Air 2, this 2S is the next generation of and direction of drones where we're going. In order to keep up with the times is like buying the latest drone, you need to keep up with the latest tech to keep these drones working. But like you also mentioned, Stevie, as well, tablets are considered for the working person. The average person out there flying drones pulls out their phones and they can read a restaurant menu. Well, I can't. Now, if you want me to spot your golf ball 150 yards away or 200 yards away in the grass, I can point you in that direction.
Really?
But for the older guy, unfortunately, you need to buy I need to buy a new tablet.
Oh.
And I got the Flymore bundle with this 2S. And I'm gonna let you know something. I gotta look over my shoulder when I sleep at night now.
Well, I had the Air 2 and I bought an extra battery. I bought the combo. So altogether I have 4 batteries because I bought an extra battery after a couple of drone sessions.
I agree, Matt.
So the only reason why I bought the Air 2S combo, because I had the batteries ready, is that I didn't want to wait for the ND filters to come out. I heard people are still waiting for other companies, and I'll still buy better glass. There's going to be better glass than what DJI is giving you. But I bought it because I didn't want to wait for the ND filters, because if I have the drone and I don't have the ND filters, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like I need to I want to film it the way I want to film it. So now I
Right.
have 7 batteries and Air 2 and the Air 2S. But
Now,
I'm
see,
I'm,
like,
I'm gonna
like,
sell the Air 2 as a combo with the 3
yeah,
batteries.
I had to return my Galaxy Tab A for an iPad Mini 5 when I brought my Air 2. Exactly. And this is what I mean by new chip technology. As we start getting into octa-cores and 10 cores and better,
Yeah.
the chipset is changing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this, but the Tab A and the NVIDIA tablet, they're 10 years old. Now think about this. Every 6 months in a computer year, every 6 months is a computer year, which means technology changes every 6 months. Okay. From your cell phone to your tablet to whatever, technology changes every 6 months.
That's
Right
just
now, we
new
just got
generation of
5G.
stuff coming out,
We're
not
just
in
getting
use.
5G. What happened, Herman?
That's just new generation stuff coming out,
Yeah.
not in use. You can have computer parts that are 4 years old still working. The new generation of stuff that just comes out, it just keep coming out. They already talking about new processors, and you still can't get your hands on the 5,000 series
Right.
right
Look
now.
at the
So
graph.
they're already
Look what
talking
you had
about the
to,
next generation. So they just do that. And nobody has 5,000 series. Everybody's
look,
still running
Herman, look what you had to do to
it's
get
just
your
not.
graphics card.
It's just not. You
People would
understand?
sell their first child for that graphics card behind you on that shelf.
And that's not my problem. But
Hey Chris,
no, but I'm just saying that that's what the computer world does because they produce very limited amount to constantly keep the price up. They continue the frenzy. There's like I keep telling everybody that chip shortage. It's a chip shortage, nothing. This is not.
forget about
It's just that everybody's home, everybody's buying. People are buying, 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 buying.
that's funny.
And then the automakers, they even made a mistake where they underestimated what they would need. They knew that. They know
There you
that.
go. There you go, Chris. If you're talking about glass for drones or cameras, drones. I
Polar
don't know
Pro,
about them for digital for cameras, but I
Polar
do know
Pro.
this for
Hold on a
drones.
second.
Polar Pro is like DJI. You know,
Hold on.
DJI is at the top of the drone world. Well, Polar Pro is like that with ND filters.
Free
Hold on.
free
And
wells make some decent.
Freewell and Polar Pro have been making filters long before there were drones flying with filters on them.
hmm,
Yeah, those are the 2 brands I would recommend.
And some of those other companies too. The drone filters is just something new to everybody.
Right.
exactly, Matt.
I got them for my Nikon DSLR. I have them for my GoPro, my Hero 7. I have ND filters for everything.
Okay.
And if for those of you out there that don't know why people pay the money that they pay for Polar Pro as opposed to now Freewell, they make glass and plastic filters. If you get something from Freewell, I suggest get their higher end. But their low end is plastic, and plastic over glass never lasts. I found this out with my Phantom 4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I had got some cheap filters from Freewell. I did upgrade eventually, but I started out with some cheap filters, and I should have just brought the good ones in the beginning because I wound up buying the cheap ones and still getting the good ones. But the Freewell filters that I got for my Phantom 4 Pro were plastic, and I'm like, well, how good can this last? And I'm going to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
The filters are starting to fade. Glass doesn't fade.
Yep.
Okay.
Good glass will last as
You're
long as
gonna pay a little extra money, but you know that that filter is gonna last as long as you have your fucking drone.
No, you
Hey
can make them
Johnny,
yourself, right?
what's up, Johnny?
Lawrence, you know you can make them, right?
Why is Herman doing jazz hands? Is he Herman going like this?
Because I was trying to get Lawrence's
Spirit
attention.
fingers. Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
I was just trying to get Lawrence's attention on the filter thing because you talk about filters. You gotta remember filters been around long before we were flying drones.
Yeah.
So these companies have been making these filters. Drones is just a new avenue.
Exactly, Matt. Plastic leaves a glare. Well, glass is cleaner.
Oh, Gary got his filters on his way. I hope you got the good ones. I see Johnny.
True. Michael Blades, you get what you pay
Yeah.
for. 100%.
Yeah, you got to get good.
If you're going to take the money and invest, if you're going to take the money and invest it in even a Mavic Mini, that investment is worth putting something decent on it. Why are you going to get a Bugatti and put freaking Toyota tires on it? That's basically what you're doing.
The Pet Boy brand.
You understand?
Well, it depends on what tire we talking now. You know, if the tire is recommended for the car, then it's the tire. You'd be surprised how
Right.
many tires is on a lot of different, bro.
Hey, what's up, Furball?
I'm just saying, with these filters and shit, that guys get a little bit, too caught up in what the filter is actually designed to do. I just find that most of these filters and what guys are using them for, they'll all work fine for you. You just filters and the ISO on the camera, depending on which camera it is, it's all subjective to me.
Ray Kelly, have a great evening, sir. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, Ray Kelly got his show after this, right? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard,
Okay.
with Johnny Drone Flyer.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
guys, if you're not subscribed to Johnny Drone Flyer, check him out.
Please,
At
you
the show
guys
as
check
well.
that out.
Listen, I'd like to let you guys know I appreciate and I love all the live streams on here. And I'm gonna have to either get a new wife or a new freaking room to do live streams in, because all these live streams are fucking me up.
Did you say a new life?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Kim,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all of the live streams since we started here, Herman. We started on Canadian Drone Hub, you know, as well, and between that time, I have found so many good live streams. There's not enough time in a freaking day. Like my son's here waiting. My nephew's here. He is my son, is here waiting to drink tequila. I haven't even eaten dinner, but I'm gonna listen. I'll be there listening.
I never got to drink tequila with my father.
What happened?
I never got to drink tequila with my father.
Well, Cinco de Mayo. Let's make it happen.
I'm gonna tell you, like my daughter tells me, times are different.
No, father said that times are different. That's why a lot of it.
Hey, Mike Roach.
Really, it would be the opposite, because I remember I was, like I told you, I was that kid that. But you remember the nips?
Mm-hmm.
I was the nip killer, hanging out with my pops as a little kid. Yeah, finish that, kid.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, I was the nip killer. Do that today, and your kids will be taken away.
Yeah, they'll be knocking on the door.
Yeah, right.
With your government name on paperwork.
You do that today, your kids will be taken away.
It is subjective, the ND filter. I know everybody feels a certain way, whatever, but my whole thing is that you want to get the best out of your glass, out of your pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So you might, it's usually not a big price difference, to tell you the truth. Sometimes Polar Pro is like $60, and these cheaper ones are like 40. But spend the extra 20. Like out here in New York, $20 is like a lunch.
But what's funny? You check it out, and you'll see some filters, right? It'll be on there, and those filters will be cheaper than the name and they'll be glass.
Yeah, but it's good glass. There's a difference. Is how they put the glass together and everything.
Watch this, Stevie. Watch. So I'm gonna tell you. We got 101 different names on cans in the supermarket, right? How many canneries do you think they come out of?
Right. Well, that's big in the closed circuit.
And that's the same thing with all manufacturing.
That's big with certain companies. Yeah, 100%. But when it comes to certain things like that, I guess I sleep better. Maybe you're 100%.
I get what you're saying, but it's hit and miss.
In the same place, but at least I know, because it's crazy, because you know how we are out here. We have this crazy schedules, and we always trying to find time to do stuff, and then we got our little breaks that we could fly our drones and meet up with our boys or whatever we do. If I'm going to be flying and all that, I want to make sure that I'm not wasting my time on cutting myself short on a bullshit little glass. You know what I mean? Trying to get the best out of it. You know what I mean?
But Stevie, you're 100% right. And you want to know what? Because guys that ask me personally, how come you don't come fly with me here? How come you don't fly with me there? How come you don't fly with that person? And I told them, I don't fly for no reason. I don't go out there to fly just to burn batteries. If I'm taking my drone up, I'm doing it to capture something I want to capture and share with others. I'm not going to put a battery in my drone and go out in the yard and go up and do a panorama of my neighborhood. Who gives a fuck about my neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fly for no reason.
Hey, Chris from
I'm
some
sorry, that's the tequila talking, guys. I took a shot earlier.
Wow.
you
There
gotta
you go.
you gotta read the disclaimer.
Well,
When you're doing photos, you have more control. So you could just use your shutter
Come
and
on.
take out some of the light. But when you're doing video, that's when the ND filters are more important. So if you're just doing photos, ND filters are not that important because even if you don't have the aperture that you could adjust, like on the Phantom 4 Pro and the 2 Pro, um, now you have two ways of adjusting it. With
Yeah.
photos, you just cut, you bump up the shutter speed and you're gonna cut out that light. So you get the detail in the clouds and everything. You got to kind of find a good medium. You got to find balance because you remember you're dealing with small sensors in comparison to a DSLR camera or a what you call those
much smaller.
yeah, you're dealing with much smaller. So you're not going to have all that dynamic range. Since you don't have that dynamic range, if you put the zebra prints on, now the zebra print will tell you what's overexposed. You kind of got to meet in the middle. You're not going to get all the zebra print out if you're shooting towards the sun, but you just got to kind of, after a while, you get a hang of it because you don't want the shadows way too dark.
You're making
You'll
me spill
never
my tequila, man, laughing at you.
look at it. You'll never be able to bring back those shadows if they're too dark.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, with
Same to
video
you.
for video, I recommend the ND filters. If you're taking pictures, just bump up that shutter speed is not gonna matter. You just get the right
Well, ND filters are for video.
Yeah.
They're not for taking pictures.
And reason being, now this is supposed to be the code of video. If you're shooting 60 frames per second, your shutter speed should be double that. So you should be at 120. Now, if you do that on an average sunny day, you're going to be overexposed.
Whatever your video frames per second you're shooting at should be double at a minimum. That's
Right.
you should have said because you can shoot at 24, so your shutter speed should be 50.
Yeah, around there.
Close
So
to
if you
48.
do that, that's when you're going to need ND filters because if you made that adjustment on your drone and you put your drone up, you're going to see everything's going to be overexposed on a day.
Well, what it's designed to do
Hey,
is that
Joe, have a good night, brother.
once you adjust your stops and your aperture, to catch in between, you would need the ND filter to catch the f-stops in between. That's what it actually works.
Essentially, they're like sunglasses. You just bring down the cuts down the light.
Your aperture you may need to bump a little bit more, a couple more stops, and you don't have it in your camera. That's where the ND filter comes in.
All right, and always make sure your ISO is at the lowest. You always want your ISO at 100. Now, unless you're shooting at night or something and you're trying to get something, you might have to bump it up. But when you're shooting in the daytime, always make sure it's 100. Some people forget that and they have it up and now they're introducing grain for no reason, So this is like some of the things you should check when you.
Herman, do you care to share your ISO experience? Remember we were at Governor's Island?
Oh, because I was shooting at night before that, and
you had it all up.
When I got to Governor, I was like, damn, I can't see a damn thing. It's bright. Like, what the hell is wrong here?
Right, but these are things that you learn, and that's why
the ISO was up. Well, it wasn't up that high, but the aperture was open wide, like
yeah. So, but the funny part
what the hell is wrong with my camera?
The funny part about it, he had forgot that we were out shooting, or he was out shooting the night before. And for those of you who shoot manually, in auto, you don't have to worry about this. But when you shoot manually and you set your ISO up for shooting at night, if you go out the very next day, you'll think your drone is broke. And I was like, damn, I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong. I couldn't think of what it was, and then it dawned on him he was out shooting the night before. Let
Right.
me lower the ISO.
Mhm.
Experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Lord, I took you down. Yeah, we got it. We good.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick
I have everything.
Wedworth,
Well,
that's
yeah,
what this live stream is about, being able to share knowledge, and we do our tech talk and stuff, but most of the time when we're freelancing it like we're doing right now, you can pick up a lot of jewels. I believe, and a lot of people have heard me say this, each one teach one. Because
you
if
know that's an
each one
African
of us
proverb.
taught one person something, that makes that much of a difference.
Right. Well,
Uh,
when I buy a new drone, like when I just bought the Air 2S, after doing all the updates and everything like that, and making sure it's ready to fly, this is before I even go out.
On JSK. Go ahead, Stevie.
And that's the thing I do after I set up everything and make sure everything's ready to fly.
Hey,
That's when
Crow.
I go into the manual settings and I set up my 60 frames because I shoot everything in 60 frames, and I do my 120 shutter speed, and then I just leave it alone because and make sure the ISO is at 100, like I said, and then
Right.
I pack everything up, and then when I go to fly, I'll adjust by the ND filter depending on the time of day and
Right.
how much ND filter I need, like an 8 or 16 or 32.
Getting to what you're talking about, Stevie, JSK asked an interesting question that can be answered. This is an oxymoron. We can answer it, but also it depends on the type of day. And what I mean by that is you say, what's the best recommended setting on your ND filter for a sunny day?
Or
Now, if
what's
you have a variable, that changes in comparison to someone who has a 4, a 8, a 16, a 32, or a 64.
I'll tell you
I
right
don't
now.
understand that question.
Well, he's saying setting on your ND filter. Well, it's not a setting on your ND filter.
Not setting,
Maybe
he
he
would
meant
like to know what ND
ND filter.
should I use
Now,
on a sunny day.
all right. So JSK, this is how
Well,
I would do it. First of all, I would just like I said, I would set my drone up how I shoot. So, like I said, I always shoot 60 frames because even if I don't want to slow it down later on, at least I have the option to do it. There's not a lot of times you need to slow down drone footage because you're so high, it looks slow anyway on a camera drone. So, but I want the option to slow it down just in case if I want to later on. So I put 60 frames, I put the 120 on the shutter speed. So I got the double right there. So now I got cinematic, right? I get that motion blur that I'm targeting. This way it looks pleasing to the eye. At that point, you are outside, depending on what part, it could be any time of the day. You put on the ND filter and see if it's overexposed or underexposed still. And one thing that I use is the zebra print. I know a lot of people don't like using it because it's almost always a little bit of zebra print. Now the zebra it's like
That's the
on your screen.
overexposure mode.
It lets you
And
know if it's overexposed. So anything in that zebra print that you see in the screen has no detail. Basically, that's what it's saying. So look in your options, find that click that option to put the zebra notification on your screen, and then make the adjustments. Like I said before, you always gonna have to have a little bit. If you're shooting on a sunny day, you're gonna have a little bit of zebra print on the screen regardless, because you don't want the darks too dark because you can't bring those back. So when I'm shooting, you see sunrise and all this stuff, I have a little zebra print in there, and I know there's no detail in there, but that's the only thing I could do at this point with the small sensors.
right.
well,
For now
basic
we
rule of
need
thumb that you can the basic rule of thumb that you can use is this: you go with a higher filter, the less clouds that are in the sky. You
yes,
understand what I'm saying to you? The more clouds that are in the sky, you go with the lower filter.
yes,
The,
yes.
the
Because
more the sun is bright with no clouds in the sky, you go with a higher filter.
the perfect example was yesterday while I was shooting in Flushing Meadows, because only the clouds come out when I fly. The sky was blown out. And this gentleman that I showed how to use a shutter on the 2S, when I got there, he was saying, why is my pictures cloudy? They were cloudy because they were overexposed, and auto will overcompensate all the time. Now, what we need to do, me, you, Herman, and you, Stevie, is we need to do a live stream out in the
But
field with a screen recorder and show people the different filter effects for different days and different times. And I guarantee you, that would help a lot of people out there because
But
we need to get
somebody,
you guys out there with your camera drones that are shooting in auto to be able to shoot in manual. And it's like down and
well,
out.
actually, with something like this, the 2S that doesn't have the variable aperture, they might best suit with making maybe a gradient filters for this thing, or even a variable ND filter that can go at many different, give you more stops than what this is giving you, give
Hmm.
you more control.
Right.
But
Well, I
I
want to
don't know.
show. I
I had this one. What happens?
go ahead. I'm setting something up
No, I
because I
had
got
this one story
camera.
with. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kroger. I guess they're this. Well, I know them as the supermarket. I believe they
Yeah,
are.
Kroger supermarket chain.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, the retail giant Kroger has announced that they're going to have a trial grocery delivery by drone, a move that they say could revolutionize how the 138-year-old company does business. Now, Kroger is teaming up with this Teleguard Technologies
Hmm.
Unit Drone Express. They're going to be testing this week since at a trials at one of the stores in Cincinnati near the birthplace of the company.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing that this week, having a trial test to deliver groceries. Now they have a second test that is scheduled for a store in California sometime this summer. What they plan to do is have, and it sounds simple, but I guess they plan to get with right now within this test, they're looking to see if they can get 5 pounds of groceries to your location within
Yes.
15 minutes,
Yes.
something like that. So we'll see how this takes off. Once again, there's another company trying to get certification.
Everyone's trying
They're
to do
doing
it.
it, and before it becomes something, I guess you gotta actually work at doing it, right?
True.
There needs to be a
This is
need for it, or create a need for it.
well,
It's just like 5 pounds of groceries is not really much, depending on what you're getting, But it's
Stevie,
a
I can't
test.
see
It's a
the chat.
beginning.
I
Well,
can't see the chat, Stevie, because I want to show a video and after we finish this story. But can you keep an eye on the chat if you don't mind,
yeah,
Stevie?
I'm actually responding to Chris's
But
question.
Herman,
Yes.
what you're talking about is not it is true. Everybody's trying to get in a drone delivery right now. Domino's has a autonomous vehicle that they're testing out here in the United States. I forget what state it is because I'm
Hmm.
drinking tequila, but but this autonomous vehicle, they come out and they put pizzas in it and it delivers. Now you remember the nerd that
The
Domino's had
noise.
the guy
Yeah.
on the jumping on the
Yeah.
whatever the pogo stick. Oh, well, they have a commercial out which I wanted to show this
Well, I
week.
have a little video
Computers.
to show you what this whole Kruger operation, how they, I guess they plan to have it, you know,
Okay, go for
plan to
it.
do this. Well, let me see here. What do we got going on here? Go to the videotape.
Hmm. Go to the tape. And then JSK, hold on. I want to give you the perfect ND filter
Here we
example
go,
of how
right
it's
here.
done.
This
Yes.
is how it's going to be done. It's going to drop your groceries right on the ground.
Right. And it's 5 pounds or less.
Well, that's what they're working on with tests. What they're doing in testing. But I guess by the
Right.
time everything's a go ahead in the United States, all of these projects that we've mentioned will have been, the scale, they've probably scaled up and have gotten bigger and been able to carry a larger cargo by then. Like we already mentioned, things that can carry up to 1,000 pounds.
That's
By the
true.
time it's
So
all said and done, what's going to happen?
Wow.
you always underrate what you can do just in case. So 5 pounds, you figure they might be able to stretch out between 7 and 8.
Mhm.
Something that carries 100 pounds may be able to carry 110, 120, but you want that safety weight that no matter what, the drone can operate at
See?
optimum performance.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
that
they
load
put
up.
that little thing in there. They load the little box in there, similar
Yeah.
to everyone else, Zipline and everyone else's little box they load up in there.
Yeah, it's still, I don't know. What
Well,
if you
think about it.
flying over like somebody that's starving, man? They take that drone out.
Well, you know what? You better make it last 5 pounds of groceries. Starving.
Listen,
You go into the wrong hood with that, and they hungry.
listen, you could do that with a 5-pound bag of rice.
Rice, that rice lasts long, bro.
I know I can't see Herman, but I'm sure he's got his hand in his head. Oh God. But
You know what I like about
No,
this
but he
story?
just got some Pepto Bismol. I guess they was hanging
There
out
you
late
go.
last night.
Upset stomach, indigestion, diarrhea.
Did it have a Domino's logo on there?
Yeah, see, Domino's. Okay. Even though it's one chicken wing, but it's Domino's.
They fold up the
5 pound chicken wing.
They roll up your pie.
They folded the pizza, right?
Roll your pie up in a ball. They fold it neatly like a shirt and stick it in there.
A pizza burrito. Just roll it up.
Hold on, Stevie. When you box, the pie opens up like a flower.
Yeah.
You guys are
Like the pizza delivery guy that's holding your pie under his shoulder.
Oh, like he really wears a skirt to work and heels.
Look at this. But you know what I like about this story is that they were talking about like a scenario, right? You're having like a barbecue and you're kind of running out of burgers, people are showing up, and you just, because it'll be an app on your phone, they were saying, so it'll land where you at. It don't have to go to your address as long as you have an account with them. So you could be at a barbecue and just, oh man, we need more burgers, we need more buns, and just 5 pounds right there, right in the location. It don't have to be your house.
Well, I've seen it now. Uber Eats delivers to the beach out here. They deliver to the beach. They will not go into the sand. And I asked the guy because I was flying my phone. I'm like, dude, you just ordered 5 pizza pies. He's like, yeah. They tell me they will not come into the sand, but if you meet them at the boardwalk, which is what the dude did, okay, they will deliver. So think about it. Now the drone can deliver to the beach.
Uber Eats to your party.
What happened?
Can you imagine somebody ordering Uber Eats to your party?
Yeah, that's kind of messed
Just
up.
a plate for themselves.
Yo, you got to go. I'm sorry, you guys to get the hell up out of here. Take your Uber Eats with your ass.
Because they don't care for what you got.
Okay, now hold on a second. I wanted to show JSK was asking about filters.
Okay.
Now, JSK, you're in the New Jersey area, so you're in the tri-state area, and you realize that you remember yesterday was overcast. And what I mean by overcast, if you look up at the sky with your human eye, everything looks white. It looks blown out. And if you try to shoot it with your drone, what happens is the sky is completely one color. Well, this is my Air 2S, and I had an ND8 filter on, okay? And I didn't want to go higher because I still wanted to have some light in the video. But if I can get this video to play, I'm trying to get the clouds to show. You see that blue and some cloud area over here? That's the difference in an ND filter. Okay.
Yeah, else you would
The
have
human
no
eye,
information.
right. I'm trying to hit play. There we go.
That's it.
The human eye cannot see these clouds, okay? But the ND filter does pick it up. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all a matter of, I can send you an ND filter chart like Herman sent me, but I would not be able to see this blue and the clouds over here without that ND filter on.
Well, that chart I sent you wouldn't help him with the ND filter.
Oh, that's what shutter.
That chart is if you have a camera that has an adjustable aperture, shutter speed, if you can adjust your 3 aspect ratios in your camera, such as like on the Phantom 4 Pro and the Mavic 2 Pro,
Yeah.
If you have a camera like that, then you can adjust the 3 aspect ratios on it.
Well,
That
I'm going to
chart
make
would
an
help.
announcement here
Like,
on
see
Wednesday
something.
night.
No, 1 second. Like what you have, what you showed there, you can actually adjust your aperture on another camera that would help bring that in. But
Yes,
without an adjustable aperture, you have to use a filter to
and the
drop those
shutter.
stops.
Right now, I want to make
See,
an
shutter
announcement.
is video shutter is locked.
Yeah, but well, what being that I was shooting in pro, I just want to get to the point real quick. I want to make an announcement. If you want to switch, and I'm going on the line here, I haven't even consulted Herman or Stevie, but if you want to go on a line, I'm going on a line and saying if you want to learn how to utilize your drone and to learn how to stop shooting in auto, and you want to really learn how to appreciate the art of flying drones and
That's
get rid of
what I
that
told you for.
overexposure, I'm willing to do a series, and I'm hoping you guys are willing to join with me. But I'm willing to do a small series on how to shoot in manual for people because a lot of people out there are flying their drones in auto, and auto is great. There's nothing wrong with shooting it in auto. I swear there isn't. I shot in auto for a very long time until I understood that manual brings you that much more out
Mhm.
of your pictures. I'm willing to start a series every other week or whenever we can work it into the schedule and we get the live stream thing going to show the differences in filters and using your shutter and if you have an aperture how to use it. These are the things that we need to do on our live stream.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
just me personally.
we could just organize that after the stories are done, put out like 20 minutes towards manual settings, like manual settings basics 1, manual setting basics 2, and you put it in
Exactly.
the description, and we could just all go to town with it, just like we're doing now, you know?
Exactly. And it's
Growing our
about
knowledge
each one teach one because I'm going to be honest with you. And it maybe it's the tequila, the second shot of tequila and the beer I had. But I'm going to tell you this. People on Facebook will tell you your shit looks good when it don't.
That's definitely
And
the
and
liquor. That's
and what I mean by that, I've been flying for 4.5 years now, almost going on 5, flying drones. Okay, and I go back and I look at my footage and pictures, and I remember all the comments, and I appreciate the support. People are trying to be supportive of you, but also be honest. Okay,
They
and
are
where?
honest.
Huh? Hold
They
on.
are honest with you.
I got a call on the bat
Hey,
phone.
Herman, you
Okay.
got the disclaimer too on your end?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Look
Okay.
up.
I don't. I don't. I don't use. I don't need the disclaimer for the most part because I try my best to keep the things that I can. How they say it? I can substantiate. I can prove.
Well, see,
I can.
the
Go.
point I'm trying, I'll be
What?
blunt, guys, and I'll let you get back to the live stream. I'll be blunt. I look at my video footage back then compared to now, and I cringe.
Well, you know,
And
people on my channel were being real honest because if you look at my old videos,
Mhm.
nobody said nothing. Nobody liked nothing. Nobody said nothing. They were being blunt. They were
But
being. It was like a
that's how I
bunch of.
met Anthony
I had
Charles.
subscribers, but they were all like Lawrence. They looked at it and they said, "This is crap," and they kept it moving.
Yeah, that's how I met Anthony
It was
Charles.
yeah,
brutally honest.
Herman,
That's how I met Anthony Charles
see,
on one of the drone groups. Yo, these two dudes, man, used to bust all my videos, and I thought I was doing something on the 2 tablets. They're working at night over there, just hustling. And these dudes, that dude said something. He goes, "Oh, that's some old amateur video anyway." And I was like, "Damn."
Wow, he went right for the
yeah,
top.
I
yeah,
was like,
but see, that's
"Okay,
honest. You gotta appreciate honesty because
no,
it's
but
honesty teaches you.
no, but hold up, but hold on. Let me tell you what happened. I've listened to this for so long, right? And Anthony Charles has said something about my video talking about anything in my city is good. It's a good video. So I was like, thank you. You don't get much words of encouragement on this group. So the same 2 dudes just jumped on me again because of that comment. And
Wow,
I was like, yo, Cisco and Ebert, check this out.
Cisco and Ebert. Wow,
And they kicked me out the group.
wow.
I'm good. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I used to film everything. I didn't know about the frame rates and stuff. And then I put it in the software. I'm trying to slow it down.
Listen,
And then I didn't
shoot.
really notice that it was like glitchy. I look like a robot. I'm trying to do this cinematic shot, and you see me like jumping. It looked like I had too many coffees. But
Don't watch a few videos, learn a little something. Just shoot whatever
you
you
have
feel.
to. But you know what the
Shoot
thing
and
is?
learn from your mistakes.
You know what I love
You
about
do,
watching
but I believe
video?
honestly, we could help people seriously. I don't see there are people out there doing
Yeah,
reviews and
but
there aren't people out going out there on a sunny day and saying this is what filter you use on this day. There
Lawrence,
aren't
you know
people
how to
going on a rainy day.
you
You
learn how
know,
to ride a bike, right?
yeah,
How many times did you fall?
a few.
Okay, then. So no matter what, you still got to get out there on your own and
True.
put that camera to work and play
I
with the
agree.
parameters of it.
I agree,
That's the
Herman, but
best teacher that you're gonna get.
I agree. But for some people are the analytical people that write down stuff and they get it. And then you have people that are physical people that have to see it. You,
Understandable, but if you go to school, Lawrence, to learn photography, your teacher's not going to sit down with you and go over using ND filters with you and when to use it and when you should use it and when not to use it. He's going to tell you or she's going to tell you to go out there with your camera and work with your camera, play with your camera, take shots with your camera and learn your camera.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
but
Once you learn your camera, all of that other stuff
not
now it'll start to make sense to you.
not only that, but you learn more from the mistakes. You learn more from the mistakes. You have to have that time when you're just making these mistakes and stuff like that. And you remember more. Especially
Because
like when people are telling you, like you said, Herman, people were like, what's this, what's that, and they critiquing your videos. It makes you think and it makes you research and it makes you go. I mean,
right,
photography I learned on YouTube. I didn't go to school for none of that stuff. And I was doing Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, Couture Fashion Week, and all this stuff. I was sitting with all these guys that had 20, 30 years of training, of school, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? And I learned everything myself. I'm self-taught. So when I got into droning, I just took that whole, what I learned from shooting the DSLR cameras to shooting with the drone. Right away, I was setting the manual settings and all that stuff. So,
Well,
it is what it is.
listen, I'm willing to invest the time to take out, and the reason I'm saying I'm willing to do it is because when I was learning how to fly drones and first you have to learn how to fly the drone before you can worry about video or pictures.
so
After that,
cool
then you
bit.
start taking your pictures and you start shooting your video. Then you need to learn how to use the camera. There are millions of people out there right now that honestly just want to fly their drone and take pictures. But for you drone enthusiasts out there that want to learn that much more and take your drone flying and drone experience to the next level, I'm willing to go out on a limb and do something like this and show you this is how you shoot on a sunny day. This is how you shoot on a cloudy day. This is what you're supposed to do. These are settings. People don't want to do that.
Well,
It, it,
like Gary was saying in the chat, we'll pre-record one of the drone sessions, and then you take the footage onto the live stream and show
Yeah.
them before and after and what filters and kind of go back and forth on the video
Hey, Ray.
together, so they
Okay,
could see what's going on in the field, and then
me
explain it.
let me see if I can explain something to you. The average guy with a camera in his hand, right? What's the difference between him and what you consider to be a great? What's the difference?
Experience.
No.
Okay.
Consistency. Consistency. And you can only gain consistency from playing with the camera.
True.
Filters, we can sit here and do a video. I'm not downplaying what you want to do, and I agree with it. But when it comes to filters, the same thing you're doing with a filter can be done with a camera that does not, and it has an adjustable aperture. The same thing you're going to do with the filter. For the most part, you're flying a camera that's 200 feet in the air.
Exactly.
So basically, that variable aperture is just to let in more light or less light into the camera, into the sensor.
And people get
So
confused. With
you're
that.
trying to accomplish that with a camera that doesn't have a variable aperture. I understand what you're trying to do, but with a camera that has a variable aperture, play with your camera. Learn your camera first because it can be done without it.
Right.
It can be
Right.
done
And
without it.
Herman's 100% right, because now when you mess with your aperture on a DSLR camera, when you're taking pictures, you're going to change the perspective because you're right there. You know, you're a couple of feet from your subject, either a person or whatever it is. But when you're up in a drone, or when you're flying, not up in the drone, but when you're flying a drone, you're so far away that aperture is not going to change the perspective. It's not going to bring the person closer or bring the background closer. It's just gonna cut out the light. It's just gonna
Right.
cut out the light. And that's different when you're on ground and you're shooting with a regular camera, mirrorless camera or DSLR, things of those natures. But yeah, when you're up there, aperture is just cutting out more light. So when you have the shutter speed and you have the aperture, now you got two ways to cut down the light. So you got
I
more.
give up trying to type. The tequila's kicking in. 'Cause I'm trying to type certain things, and
It is 7:09.
yeah. I just closed the whole chat room. I'm done.
It's about that time, guys, to get up out of
Listen,
here.
guys, it's that time. I have company over, and I'm already.
Buzzed.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear.
One or two drinks, and Lawrence need a disclaimer even more.
No, I need to go eat some so we can finish drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it's about that time to get up out of here. You guys want to say anything? So like I said, we'll be back on. Oh, I don't know. We won't be on this Sunday because Sunday is Mother's Day.
Right.
Yes,
And
we will not be on Mother's Day.
Lawrence don't want to get the
Trying
pow
to get me
pow.
killed.
Lawrence doesn't
Trying
want
to
to
get
get the
killed?
pow pow for coming on.
Live from the doghouse with
Listen,
Lawrence.
all you would hear is I
He'll be
went
live from the doorstep.
It'll be the first live stream he does from outside. You see his suitcases in the back.
Hey, Stevie, at least I still have Wi-Fi outside. I'm doing the live stream from the car.
Live from outside. It's Sunday night.
Listen, everyone, enjoy your Mother's Day. We appreciate you all. We appreciate the support. It doesn't matter whether you come late or whether you watch the live stream afterwards. It's all about showing us support, and we highly, highly appreciate it.
Yes, 100%. Thank you guys for everything.
Well, what he said, but like I said before, we appreciate everyone that comes to hang out with us. And we thank you all for being here, because without you, none of this would be possible. You actually come and listen to the things that Lawrence has to say.
You guys all have great.
Right, another shot of tequila, man. No,
Yeah, he needs another shot. We're going to be out of here.
They said I can't have no more tequila till I get off this live stream, so I'm out, guys.
Listen, we don't interfere with that work from Monday to Friday. We only got live stream 2 days out of the week. It's only a couple of hours.
Yeah, right.
Can we have a little bit of peace? But anyhow, I'd like to thank you guys, like I said, for coming and hanging out with us. We won't be on this Sunday, but I guess
Sunday we will not be live.
We will be back, I guess, next week, Wednesday. And I guess until then, and I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with those guys over there.
Good night. I'm sure there'll be somebody on who doesn't celebrate.
Who doesn't, have any, whatever.
Check out Johnny Drone Flyer. He's live.
7 p.m. He's good. They should be warming up now.
All right, guys. Bye.
Good night, everyone. See
Herman.
you later.